Cool. Let's start then. So today, in today's session, we are going to talk about GitHub actually. Okay, so I think I've already posted on the group. And GitHub in general, we'll talk about version control. We'll start with version control. What does version control do? Why it is such an important tool for almost all the software development. And then we'll move on to create, doing a short exercise on doing your first commit in one of the repositories which I've created, which I've shared with you. So yeah, before that, let's start jump into. Okay, so first of all, I want to know from you guys, like, what is your opinion on GitHub? How much do you know? So does anyone know what is version control in general, or what is Git, GitHub, Bitbucket? Any one of you have used any of these tools before? Is there anyone who have used any of these tools? GitHub, Git, any rough idea about what does they do? Have used GitHub. Okay, Pranav. So basically,
We
can you?
use version control to get the previous version of the project because we do review
Mm-hmm.
every time. So if you want to get previous units, we can do it by
Mm-hmm.
version control system.
Mm-hmm.
Of every work we do.
Okay. Yeah. A version control allow to keep track of your work. Yes, correct. So a little bit history about it, guys. So back then, in basically when GitHub was actually not invented, or basically when it was not made open source, then people were actually facing a lot of problems in software development. Okay, so basically in software development, the problems were related to like backups, collaboration among team members, and then keep a track of change, branching. All these were major problems when you are actually building a good software, a big software. So I'll first of all start with the problem statement first, and then we'll slowly move on to GitHub, like why we invented GitHub and why it is so useful. So first of all, I'll tell you the magnitude of problem what we face and what we would have faced without GitHub. Then I think you guys can appreciate this tool more. So just a minute. Okay. So in general, what we are going to basically discuss in next 1 hour is basically first. The first question is, what is GitHub? Okay. Then we'll talk about why we use GitHub. And the third is, what would have been the scenario if there is no GitHub? So, okay. So in short, version control is known as VCS, version control system, and we'll use these nomenclature, this only nomenclature in the upcoming whole session. Okay. So, what basically, first of all, I want to know from you guys, like, what is your definition of a software development? How do you perceive a software development? Suppose I'm creating a website. So, what are the various elements which actually come into picture while there is a huge team which is working on a website, and suppose that they are collaborating real time? So, let's suppose I'm creating a small website here, and this is my website header, this is body, content, some other content, and then this is footer. Okay, so suppose I'm actually let's suppose I'm working in one of the big companies, and they actually build up websites. Okay, now you tell me, like, what are the elements which come into picture while we are working as a team on this website? Suppose this is the team. This is team member A. This is team member B. This is team member 3. Okay, so there's a team of 3 people, and now we want to know what are the elements that version control. Okay, let's sign Mukha. First of all, like, how will we actually know front end database collaboration? Correct. So let's keep it to front end only. Let's suppose that I am working on the front end of this website, all three of them. How will we actually first of all do it? Suppose you are one of the managers of these three people. What will you do at first? What would be the first step you guys actually will take? You are here. Let's suppose that you guys are here. This is you, the manager, and you have been given the responsibility to actually complete this project within, let's say, 2 days. So what would be your first step to actually divide the work? Yeah. So first of all, we'll actually, this is also what software development, how the software development and agile development works. So basically, first of all, we'll divide the work. Okay, so let's suppose A is working on header, B is mainly working on the body and content, and let's suppose C is working on the footer. Okay, now these three people are working continuously. Now, what is the second step which you want to take into picture?
Merging our work.
Watching over work. Okay, you can watch over
Merging.
merging. Yes. So let us suppose that the speed of all three of them is different. Okay. So if this is, let's suppose the work is www in all three stages, and the speed of this guy is basically, w by 2 per day. The speed of this is w by 4 per day, and the speed of this is basically w by 3 per day. Now, uh, can you guys tell me when will this project complete in general? First of all, when will this whole project will complete?
4 days. Four
Sorry,
days.
four
4 days.
days. Okay, 4 days. Is everyone agree with this fact that it will take 4 days to complete the project? It's a simple mathematics problem. Anyone who is not able to understand why we took 4 days to complete the project? Because there is some quote in in thermodynamics which I heard a long back, basically, which said that the chain is as strong as the weakest link, and similarly is the case here. The team is as strong as the weakest team member which is present. So now here the weakest team member is basically B, who is working with 25% efficiency per day. And if we take into account the efficiency of all three of them, it could have been higher, but we will always take the weakest link to calculate the maximum amount of work. So in this scenario, if they are actually working parallelly on different components, then it will take 4 days to actually complete the whole project. Uh, is everyone on the same page with me till now? Everyone understood why it will take 4 days?
Sir, can you please explain again?
Yeah.
I,
So what I was saying that basically there is a quote called the chain is as strong as the weakest link, as the weakest link of the chain. Basically, the chain is made up of various links. Let's suppose there are 10 links in the chain and you try to break up the chain. It will always break up from the weakest link. And this is similar in the case of teamwork also. When you are working, collaborating as a team, the project deadline will actually fall upon the person who is actually working with least efficiency. Here, the efficiency of all these people are, this is 50% efficiency, the 25% efficiency, and this is working on 33% efficiency. Now, the efficiency rate of this is lowest and will take 4 days to actually complete this component. If we talk about this component, and I'm talking the website as a whole, like how much time it will take for the website to go live. Unless and until this part gets completed, we will continuously keep working on it, and it will take 4 days to actually, create this whole content. So we will say that the project will complete in 4 days. Although the footer and header will get completed within 2 days and 3 days respectively, but the whole project will get completed in 4 days. And this actually comes to a very trivial problem now here. The problem is like, first of all, the problem is like, how will we make it better? How we can actually achieve better efficiency in terms of manpower? Right? If you go into management and if you work as a manager, the biggest problem which you face is the manpower management. Like if you have 10 resources and you want to utilize those resources in maximum efficient manner, then you have to actually divide the resources in such a way that the project will get completed in minimum time. Okay, so let me give you a small problem here. Let's suppose that the work here is divided into, let's suppose this is W by 2, this is W by 2. Now, can anyone tell me how much time will take for the project to complete? Can anyone tell me how much time will take for the project to complete?
2 days.
2 days. Okay. Others? Have you understood why it will take 2 days? Okay, so can anyone explain why it will take 2 days?
Sir, the first one,
Mhm.
he'll be doing W by 2 each day, so he'll be taking 2 days.
Correct.
The second one, he's doing W by 4 work each day, and to complete W by 2, he'll be taking 2 days.
Correct.
And to complete W by 2, the third one will take 1.5 days. So
Correct.
the maximum will be 2.
Yeah. So, is it clear to everyone why it will take 2 days for complete the project if we actually divide the work in W by 2 and W by 2? Is it clear to everyone? I hope it is clear now. Okay. So now the problem here, what I was discussing with you is the manpower management. Suppose it was W by 2 for both body and footer, and okay, let me ask you a hard problem now. Let me say that this is W by 2, this is W by 2, and I will ask you guys to actually allot works among A, B, C to this section, which is basically, let's say the section is header, body, and footer. How will you allot it to actually minimize the time which is required to complete the project? In terms of header, body, and footer, like who will you allocate these work to actually achieve maximum efficiency?
For W body and
W by
content.
3. Let's say
W
it
by
is W
2.
by 3, it is W by 2, it is W by 2. Okay, now I want you to allot header, body, and footer to each of these person, and we know the efficiency of each of these person. Like it will take W by 2 time to complete. Basically, it takes 2 days to complete W. It takes 4 days. Okay, some problem with the editor. Okay, can you carry on? So now you have to tell me like how will you allocate this work to actually achieve the maximum efficiency to complete the project, and how many days can we actually complete the project as well? Everyone understood the problem? Is there anyone who has some doubts over the problem statement here? Now tell me like how will you complete this project in least time?
Sir, the least work should be given to the slowest person, and the same
Mhm.
pattern is to be followed.
Okay, so what should be the division of work here?
Header should be given to B,
Mm-hmm.
and then body and footer can be given to either because it's the same work. And
Okay, and how much time will take for the project to complete in that scenario? Oh, it's a simple mathematical problem.
So like it will take 1.5 days at max.
1.5 days it will take. Okay, others?
yes, sir, 1.5 days.
So how much time will take for the header to complete, and who will be allocate the header?
So the
Header,
header
it will
will be
take 4 by
allocated to
3.
Okay, header will be allocated
4
to,
by
and the days will be taken will be 4 by 3, which is 1.33 days to complete the header. Now, who will be allocate the body?
so to anyone like
To anyone.
if
Yeah,
we
okay. Yeah, that's equal. So let's suppose that I allocate body to A, and then the body will get completed within
1 day.
1.5 days.
1 day, sir.
Sorry, 1 day.
1 day. Okay. Now the footer will be allocated to C
C.
naturally, and how much time will he take to complete the footer?
3 by 2.
1.5 1.5 days.
1.5 days. Okay. So the complete time to complete the project, the essential time to complete the project would be 1.5 days. Now, does everyone understand this problem statement? Is there anyone who is not able to understand it till now? Is it clear to everyone how it is coming 1.5 days and how we have actually divided the work? So basically, we saw that the least work is in header, and then we actually give the header to least efficient person, which is B in this case. So B will actually complete the header within the workload. The efficiency of B is 25%, and we give header to B, so it gets completed within 4 by 3 days. Similarly, if the body we give it to A, although we could have given it to C as well, it doesn't matter. The answer would have been same. So A will actually complete the body within 1 day because A works at W by 2 speed per day, and the content in the body is actually W by 2 only. Similarly, in the footer, C will actually complete the footer between 3 by 2 days, and will take 1.5 days to complete the footer. So now, even though they have actually completed the A and B are also working continuously, and even though they have completed the project within less time frame, the project actually will take 1.5 days to complete. Okay. Now my next question is, let's suppose that uh, hmm, so let's suppose that this is the project now similarly, and they are not able to work collaboratively. Like they cannot work on the project simultaneously because obviously we don't have any version control. Okay. This is my body, this is my header, this is my footer. If there is no collaborative environment, how will first of all A, B, and C will work? How will they work if there is no collaborative environment? Like let's suppose that we are back in 90s, and there is only one laptop on which they can work, and now we have www work here. So and we want to give work to each three of them. Okay, let's suppose we have to give work to each three of them, one portion each three of them. Then how much time will take to complete the project in this case? How much time it will take to complete the
Nine.
project?
9 days.
9 days. Okay. Others? 9 days. Everyone got it? Why it is 9 days? Can anyone explain why it is 9 days?
So first the work will be allocated to B because
Hmm.
B has got the least work efficiency. So
No,
B
now
will get
the work is W only in all three of the sections.
uh, so yeah, so like for if there is only one laptop, so we will provide the one to the person who is least efficient. So he, in this case it is B, so B will take the first 4 days. Then we will allocate. Then we will provide the laptop to the next least efficient, which is C. So he will take 3 days. So simultaneously we will get for A, and in total we will like take 9 days to complete the job.
Okay. So although we could have given it to A, B, and C also, it doesn't matter the flow.
Yeah.
But so basically, we will give header to A. A will actually take up the laptop, and he actually completes the header within 2 days. Now similarly, we'll give the laptop to B to complete the body, and he takes 4 days. And now we have actually given it to C, who will take 3 days to complete the footer. So if there is no collaborative environment, the project would have been taken 9 days to complete. While in the collaborative environment, we saw that the project will get completed within 4 days. So if you compare the values, it is almost less than 50%. The efficiency is 50% for completing the work if we are working in a collaborative environment. Now the next question which arises here is that how will we work in a collaborative environment? What is the kind of what should be the significance of that? What are the features of that collaborative environment so as to achieve the maximum efficiency? Now, okay, so I'll come back on this after this slide. Let me bring up one more problem here. So the problem here is, let's suppose that you have actually, now let's suppose that this is a website here. Okay, and only one guy is working on it, A. A actually completes the website and actually pushes changes. Let's suppose it is running on some laptop or server, whatever you want to call it. Okay, and he actually completes the work, and after completing the work, the website is live. Okay, he actually pushes his changes, and after completing the work, the website is live. Now after, let's say, 30 days, someone realizes that the changes which was done by A are actually breaking some of the interfaces. So let's suppose A has done some CSS changes here, in the website, and after making it live, after some time, the changes got broke. So let's suppose the interfaces are actually breaking in some of the cases. Some of the pages are breaking. Now, how will we roll back these kind of scenarios? What needs to be done here according to what is the trivial thing which we will do to actually make this is, let's suppose, version 2. All of these are working on version 2, and this is working earlier on version 1. Now version 2 is breaking. We discovered that version 2 is breaking after 2 days. Now you guys tell me, like, how will we roll back to version 1 again? What needs to be done to actually rolling it back to version 1?
Again, test with version 1.
You don't have version 1, right? You don't have the code to version 1. You have actually done the changes in version 1. What should be done here to actually get version 1 back? Store a copy before making changes, backup data, correct? Other than this, what is the most efficient way to actually achieve version 1 from version 2? Okay, so backup, everyone is fine with backup. Anyone want to suggest some other things? Checkpoints, okay. Checkpoints as in commits. Anyone else want to suggest something else, like what we could have done here? Okay, so basically what one of the guys was saying, that basically we keep a backup of version 1 here somewhere somewhere in the database, and then we modify the version 2. Basically then we give the version 1 to A, and then A actually convert it to version 2 here. So if even if the version 2 is failing in some case after 2 days, then we can actually roll it back to version 1. We can say that version 1 code we have it, and we deploy this code on the server on which the website is running, and thus we actually get the website back. So backup is one of the features what we saw here, like what needs to be present for actually making software development sustainable in nature. In the previous example, if you see, just a second. Yeah. So in the previous example, if you see, what is the thing what we are actually trying to convey here is the collaboration. Like we will be able to collaborate simultaneously here in order to achieve maximum efficiency. Okay. Now there is one more problem which we could face in software development, which is, let's suppose that again I'm working on a website, and there are two portions in the website. Let's say it is header and this is body. A and B are working here. Okay. Okay, let's not take this. Take a better example. Okay, so let us suppose that I'm here. This is my main code. Okay, the main code is present here, and both A and B actually want to make some changes in the code. This is A, this is B. What will happen? Let's suppose this code is somewhere on the cloud. A actually pulls this code. Okay, now A do some changes. Let's suppose there are three files in this code: F2, F1, and F3. Similarly, B also get this code, and there are three files: F1, F2, and F3. What A will do, A will actually add up something in F1. Let's suppose he add up small a, and he subtracts some part from F2, which is minus B. Similarly, F2 B sorry add some stuff in here in F2 called C, and it divides something from F3, which is D. Now the manager actually approve both the changes. Manager says that yeah, you both are correct. Now we want to merge the changes. So how will we actually merge this code now? And who will merge first of all? What would be the final code here? Can anyone tell me what would be the final piece of code here which is present? What should be the final state of F1, F2, and F3? Can anyone tell me what should be the final state of F1, F2, and F3 here?
F1 plus A,
Okay, F1 should be F1 plus A, F2 should be,
F2 plus C minus B,
okay,
and F3 minus D.
F3 minus D. So this is going to be the final code. What will happen if the changes which are done here in F2 are actually colliding with the changes which are done here in C? Let's suppose this file is going to be some piece of code, right? There are around 100 lines of code which is present. Let's suppose the changes that the code which is removed by A, let's suppose he removes this code, is actually overlapping with the code which is added by which added by B. What will happen to this overlapping code now? Who will actually resolve these changes? Who will resolve these changes now if the code is overlapping here? Guys, come on, this is not very tough problem. Okay, so obviously now there is a conflict, so they have to call in the manager, right? There needs to be someone who actually approve this code now. He will see like which code is perfect and which code is correct here, and he approves this code and he actually manually resolves the conflicts. Okay, so this is more like a problem with the conflict of code. Like in a collaboration environment where two people are working, the conflicts are natural. They will come obviously whenever there is a code change which are done simultaneously. And in this scenario, conflicts resolve should be one of the part which needs to be taken care. Resolve conflicts. Okay. So now in last three examples, we saw one major role here. What is the role which we are seeing here? Can anyone tell me what is the major role in all last three examples? Who is the person who is actually managing the last three examples?
Person who is doing more
Manager.
efficient.
Manager, right? The manager is the one who is actually doing all the work in all three examples, like whether it is collaboration or whether it is your backups, like he's taking the backup. This is manager actually. I couldn't write it. Sorry. This is the manager who will actually take up the backup. And in this scenario as well, in the last scenario as well, it's the manager who is actually resolving the conflict. So the manager's job is very essential, right? Here in this case. What if I tell you that there exists a tool who will act as a manager and who will actually do all these three things in parallel? And that tool is known as GitHub. So we saw three trivial examples here. All three trivial examples are very much popular back in 90s. They were actually, if you are thinking right now that these are very common things and they should not occur, believe me, back in 90s, people were actually facing these kind of problems. And they were actual managers. They were actual people who were resolving these kind of conflicts each and every time. Until and unless GitHub came into picture and he became the manager. So that's why we call it version control, because that's a version control manager kind of thing, right? He's actually managing all the things. He's the one who is actually resolving the conflict. He's the one who is actually creating the backups of code. And he's the only one who is actually dividing the work among the peers based on the efficiency of people. So this is more not in terms of peer. This is more like how we are actually collaborating in a real-time environment. Okay. So this is the introduction of GitHub, and this is what the GitHub does. So in general, if we want to talk about some of the essential features of GitHub, like what it does. So if we look at the features of a manager here, in this case, it is actually providing backup and restore. It is providing synchronization among various team members, like more like real-time collaboration. Okay, it is providing your it is actually keeping a track of changes which are getting done to resolve the conflicts. It is helping you to merge the code, merge the conflicts, and so on. So these are one of the most important features which GitHub does. Is it clear to everyone now what does GitHub do and why it is so important? Are you understanding the magnitude of problem here? Like why we introduce GitHub and why it is so important? Why almost every single company in the world right now, actually, almost every company is using GitHub for their team collaboration and for their code. Every company, you take any company right now who is working in the tech domain, and they are, all are using GitHub or Bitbucket. These are two most important products. So GitHub is more like it's an open source product, but with limited capability. It is open source in nature. Then comes the second product, which is Bitbucket in market, which is actually a more personalized product for companies, and it was owned right now by a company called Atlassian. It's an Australian startup, and these are the two most important products in team collaboration or version control. Every single company you see, every single, whether it is Amazon, Microsoft, Uber, any single company, they all use this tool, GitHub or Bitbucket, either of them. Bitbucket is mostly used in startups, and GitHub is mostly used in large organizations, because they have actually built a wrapper around GitHub to actually satisfy their personal needs, like the personalized needs of a product. And this is what GitHub does. It actually provides all these features. So is it understandable to everyone, or should I explain it again? Like, what does GitHub do? I will come back. I'll just describe the life cycle of a project first of all, and then maybe it will become more clear to you guys. What does open source means? Karan, I think you can ask this question to your peers. They will be able to answer it. Okay. Open source in general is basically when you actually made your code available to everyone. It's more like, so basically there are two things. Like, okay, you have done some work and you have patent your work. So when you patent your work, it is not nobody use other than you can actually use that work without your consent and build a wrapper around it. Okay. The second thing is open source. Like, you do your work and you become very you are having a big hurt. You actually put that code over GitHub, or you actually make it open source. Any algorithm, any code, you make it open source, and so that other people can actually improve it. Other people will work upon it. So for example, Linux is an operating system which is open source, and Linux actually keeps on improving because there are collaborators all around the world who are actually improving the code of Linux. It's a GitHub code. You can actually check it out. Linux is nothing. It's just a GitHub code. The code of Linux is actually put over GitHub, and every here and now people are actually pulling out of the code and doing some changes and then pushing the code again. So it's a collaborative society which works on top of open source community. And in open source, the wrappers are actually built around the main code only. The crux of any software is actually open source only. So suppose Android is one of the things, like Android is make open source, and so people are actually building the code around Android. And although the proprietorship of Android still is with Google, but people can actually work on Android. Like, you can do Android development in the laptop right now. You can build some apps because they allowed you to do so. If they don't allow you, there would not be any app over Android, and it would have been owned by Google only. Okay. So there are many examples of open source as well. And after today's class, I would encourage you guys to actually start contributing in open source repositories as well. There are a lot of open source repositories, and even if you can contribute a little bit amount there and you can write in your resume, it would add a lot of things. It will actually tell the manager who is hiring you that you are a team worker. You know how to work in collaborative environments. And believe me, that's one of the things that they want to see in you. Even if you're not a good coder, and there's someone who is sitting next to you who is a ICPC level world finalist, probability are they will choose you if you have done some open source work. Because development is something else. Like, coding is different, development is different. If you've done the development and you know the in and outs of how do collaborative environments work, how do people team manages the work, what is actually agile development, what are scrums, and all these things, they don't have to waste resources on you to actually onboard you in the team. In general, companies waste 3 to 4 months for any new joinee, and that's called honeymoon period in companies. So they don't want to waste that amount of time on you. They don't want to invest that time on you, because from a company's perspective, at the end of the day, it's investment. Like, they're actually giving you 4 months of salary for free. So it's an investment in terms of money, in terms of time, in terms of manpower, because they also need a buddy who can help you get on board on the system. Okay, so they will obviously prefer you if you have done good amount of work on open source and development over someone who has gone on to ICPC level, or who is a very big coder. Cool. So that's about open source. Let's just quickly move on to the development life cycle of how GitHub works. So, okay, till now, is everyone on the same page? If there is anyone who is not able to understand anything till now, I can explain it again. Is everyone on the same page? Everyone is able to understand what I discussed till now? Okay, cool. So now let us move on to the second part, which is mostly like now we know what does GitHub do. Okay, now we move on to the second part, like how. Every problem has two parts, which is why and how. So now we discuss the why part, why we use GitHub. Now let us discuss like how we do it. So for that, let me quickly create a diagram for you guys. Okay, so I took this diagram from Bitbucket's official blog, and I will try to explain this diagram to you, because after this diagram it becomes very clear like how does GitHub works. Okay, so okay, before that, let me just discuss few essential keywords with you, because those are more important. Like, so essentially there are many keywords which might confuse you, and in GitHub space, in the GitHub environment, the words are actually a little different, but they are not very confusing. So suppose this is my project, which is over GitHub. First of all, what do you mean by it is over GitHub? Can anyone tell me what do you mean by the project is uploaded over GitHub? So it means basically that the project is uploaded over GitHub. GitHub is nothing. It's just a server. It's just a server which is running on a laptop, and we are actually uploading our project on top of that server, and that server is storing the files. Okay, so it's just nothing. It's just a server who is storing my files, and we call the that the project is over GitHub. Now, the important elements here. Just give me a second. Okay. So the important elements here, first of all, in the world of VCS, we don't call anything as a project. We call it as a repository. Okay, more like a repo. So anything which is which is actually hosted over GitHub, it is not called as project. It is called as repository. That's how we define it. Anything which is over GitHub, any repository, any code or any single folder which is present over there, it's called as repository. Do remember this thing, because you're going to use it very often. Now, the second thing is basically the server on which the project is hosted. So yeah, server is actually there on which the project is hosted. Then comes the client, the person who makes changes in the code. Okay. Then comes your working set. Then comes a master branch. Okay. So these two terms we'll discuss in the upcoming slide. But for now, our project is called as repository, and the person who is actually making the changes in the project is known as client. Okay. So now let us discuss where is the code is on GitHub. Yeah, where is well uploaded. Cool. So now let us discuss the life cycle of a project, on how does a project is uploaded over GitHub and how does it work. Okay. So suppose I'm here. I'm one of the generous guy. Let's call it G-man. Okay. So I'm one of the guy who actually want to upload a project over GitHub. I'm a very good person by heart. I create some code. Let's suppose this is the code here. Okay, not me. Let's take someone else. Let's take say Jadav. Okay, so Jadav is a very sincere guy. He actually wants to do something for the society. He creates a code here, and he puts the code over GitHub. Now Jadav's code has been converted into repository. Okay, so this is Jadav's code, and Jadav is now one of the admin of this repository. Now let's say there is some other guy. There are two people who are sitting over there, who is Saurabh and Sai. Okay. Now they actually are good friends with Jadav. They actually want to make some improvement in Jadav's code. Let's suppose that Jadav's code is not working. It is giving compilation error. Saurabh is a good compilation expert. He says that I can debug your code. What he does, Saurabh actually pulls out this entire repository into his local computer. Okay. Saurabh pulls the entire repository. By repository, I mean the whole code into his local computer. He do some debugging, and then the code is working fine. Now what will happen? Saurabh will say that now the code is work fine. I want to actually push it back to the repository. So Saurabh will actually raise a pull request. This is called pull request. What does it mean? It actually means that Saurabh is requesting Jadhav to collaborate his changes into Jadhav's repository. Remember, Jadhav is the one who actually created this repository R. Now, Saurabh says that I have done some changes in your code, Jadhav, and your code is working. I actually want to push my code back into your repository. So, Saurabh makes some changes in the code and he again pushed the code back to the Jadhav's repository. Now, creating a pull request means it's just a request to the admin to actually approve the code changes which Saurabh has done and incorporate those changes into the repository. Jadhav is a nice guy. He comes back. He says that, yeah, I can approve a pull request. Your changes are working fine. Jadhav actually see the code changes which are done by Saurabh first of all. He saw that there are few lines which are added, there are few lines which are removed, and he approves the pull request. And now Saurabh changes has been, has now been incorporated in the repository R. So now repository R will contain Jadhav's code plus Saurabh's code. Now there comes a new guy who is known as Sai. He says that, yeah, you guys are not very good coders. I can do some more changes in the code. I can actually make this website static in nature. Okay. So Sai again pulls out the code. Now the code which he pulls is basically consisting of the Jadhav's code plus Saurabh's code. He actually add a new feature in the code and he actually merged the feature. Sorry, he actually runs the test cases for the feature. He actually tests the feature. And then Sai says that I want to push my code back into the repository. Now, if you see, the code has already been pushed by Saurabh. So Saurabh actually becomes one of the admins here in the Git repository. And now Jadhav and Saurabh are both going to review this code. Sai again raise a pull request here. He says that please review my code. I want to make changes in the repository, which is R. R is basically right now J plus S. So Sai again raises a pull request here, and Jadhav and Saurabh, now who both are admin here, now review this code which is present. He actually reviews the pull request. Pull request again consists, this is the old code, this is some more code which is added by Jadhav, by Sai, and he approves the pull request. And now the repository R will become J plus S plus SAI. So this is how, in general, basically the collaborative environment works over GitHub. As you see, this is just a server who is a database server, which you can say that actually hosting the repository. And there are two people who actually made changes in the repository. So are you able to consume this content? Or I think I need to revise it again, but yeah, I want to know like how many people understood this whole flow. Oh, nice. A lot of people were able to understand. Is there anyone who is not able to understand it? Okay. Anyway, let me explain it again, a little short summary. So because it can remain in your mind. So what I started is that I basically said that becoming an admin. Okay, I'll come back on it. So what I said is basically this is the guy here, Jadhav. Okay, Jadhav actually creates some code and he creates a repository of that code. What he does basically, he creates a repository. Any one of you can create a repository over GitHub. Just go to GitHub, sign up, and create a repository. It's very simple. You can even push any image, anything which you want to upload over GitHub, but don't post any sensitive content. They will block you. Okay. So now Jadhav actually creates a repository R here, and by default, the person who is actually creating the repository becomes an admin. By admin, I mean anyone who actually wants to make changes in the repository, the open source code has to take prior permission from Jadhav. This is what I meant by admin. Now there are two friends of Jadhav, Saurav and Sai, and Saurav and Sai are also very good people. Saurav said that, hey Jadhav, I know that your code is not working. I want to make some changes in the code. Saurav actually pulls out the entire repository in his local computer here. He actually, excuse me, yeah, he actually makes some changes in the code, and now the code is working fine. Then actually Saurav wants to push the code back to the repository. Saurabh will say that I will raise a pull request. What Saurabh meant by pull request is that he is actually raising a diff thing. Basically, he is actually giving visibility to Jadhav, like these are the changes I have done. Pull request basically consists of two things. It contains the previous code and it contains the newly added code, so that the admin can actually verify whether the code is correct or not, whether the changes which are done are correct or not. Now he raises a pull request, which is also known as PR here. He raises the pull request, and Jadhav actually approves the pull request, and then the codes get incorporated in repository. Now repository R will now contain the code by Jadhav as well as Saurabh. Here comes the next guy, which is Sai. Sai says that I want to add a feature in your code. Sai actually pulls out the entire code back in his local computer again. So this is Sai computer. He actually pulls out the entire code. He added the feature, he tests out the feature, and then he actually want to add the feature in the repository here. So again raises a pull request. This time again with the this is the old configuration, this is the new configuration, new code, old code. And now by this time, Jadhav has created Saurabh and admin because now Saurabh code is already present in the repository. So Jadhav said that, hey Saurabh, why don't you review the code along with me? So Jadhav and Saurabh both will actually review this code. They give a LDTM, which is called looks good to me. Basically, they approve this code. And after approving this code, they actually merges this pull request back into the master repository. Now the repository here consists, now the end repository will consist here J, S, and Sun. Okay. Now coming to the second part, what is branching and what is the master branch? Okay. So remember when my friend Jadhav created a repository here, he actually created the repository along with a branch. So whenever there is some code changes which are done here, it always get done in terms of branch. We'll come back to it later, but let me tell you that this repository R is also known as master branch. Okay, this is called master branch. Whenever there is a code change which is applied, getting done here, and whatever code is present in the repository, it is always in the master branch. So this R which we are talking about is actually master. This is called master branch. Okay, and these are called feature branches. So the J, S, and SAI, these are all feature branches. We'll come back to it later. Don't get confused by this thing. So apart from master branch, is this whole flow clear to everyone? Is there any single person here who is not able to understand till now whatever we are discussing? Clear to everyone? Okay, sure. So now let's move on to the branching thing which we were discussing. So in general, remember the R which you talk about, the repository. It's nothing, it's just a code. Okay, so what I say is that basically this is my line of code. This is my master branch. What I meant by master branch is that basically it always consists the code, which is the correct code. So basically it always consists the right piece of code. Okay, this is a master branch. It always consists the right piece of code. Remember in my last example, I said that one of the guy will come in and he will make changes. So let's suppose Saurav here is sitting over here, and Saurav actually wants to make some changes in this repository. So this repository was already created by Jadhav, as I discussed. So what actually will happen is that Saurav actually pulls out a branch. This is my repository which is continuously going over. Saurav actually pulls out a branch here. I'm discussing this step now. I'm discussing this particular step. This particular step I'm discussing. I'm going into the nitty-gritties of this particular step. Okay. So now what actually will happen, Saurabh actually pulls out a branch and names this branch as S. And this is my the master branch which is called J, which is already going on. Okay. So Saurabh actually pulls out a branch called Saurabh, let's say SV, and he then make changes in this branch. He actually edits some code, he removes some code, he edit some code. Edit, remove, and add. He actually does these three actions. He and then he actually raises the pull request. So what do you mean by pull request is that Saurav actually want to merge this code back into the main trunk. By trunk, I mean the master branch. He actually wants to merge this code back into the master branch. The master branch is here, which is already running, which is known as M. And so now Saurav actually wants to merge his code into M. So here it will raise a pull request, and that pull request get approved by Jadhav. And now this master branch, which was earlier J, now becomes J plus S. So now it will consist both the codes which are present in J as well as the S, which are changes done by Saurabh. Similarly, now if Sai wants to make some changes, he again needs to pull out some code. He actually creates a new branch of this master and he names that branch Sai. Okay, now the branch Sai will consist both the J and S changes. He makes some addition or deletion in the code, and he again wants to merge back the code into M. He raises a pull request here. Okay, and the pull request then adds up the changes here, and now my master will become J plus S plus Sai. This pull request is getting approved by Jadhav and Saurabh. So this is the whole notion of master branch. There is one branch will remain common, that is called master branch. So master branch is basically the right code. No matter how many branches people actually created, master branch will always consist the right code because it has been reviewed by the admins before merging it into the master. So is this clear, is this thing clear to everyone now, or we should discuss it again? Master branch, is it clear to everyone? Can I get some X from you? If it is not, then it's fine. You can ask me to explain it again, or you can come back with your doubt. Clear to all? Cool. So now, let me just spend for 10 more minutes and on showing you how does the whole thing work. Okay, so this is my master branch as I was discussing this diagram earlier with you. This is, let's suppose this is my master branch. And Saurav again wants to make some changes here. So let's suppose Saurav actually pulls out code at this moment. Let's suppose this is T1, this is T0, this is T2, this is T3, and this is T4. Saurav pulls out some changes from master branch and he creates a local repository of his code, do some changes here. So in general, whenever there is a code change which is getting pulled out, there is something called commit. Okay. So let's suppose Saurabh performs three operations here. Basically, add some code, he deletes some code, and he updates some code. Okay. And then he again adds some code. So all these operations will be considered as one commit because a commit is something which is done by, it's more like a iteration kind of thing. Okay. Remember software development lifecycle, we say that the software is being developed in iterations. Similarly, whenever he's actually pulling out the master branch, let's suppose you are writing a C code. What does in general happen? What are the different? How many of you have submitted a C code in one of the hackathons? What are the various steps which actually we perform in writing a code and then submitting it? Can anyone tell me what are the different steps? When Saurabh pulls out a master branch, will Jadhav get to know? Yes, he will get an intimation. He will get an intimation. No, don't worry. So now I'm asking you, whenever you're submitting a code, what are the various steps which you perform? Let's suppose I ask you to submit a C++ code over lead code. What will you do? What are the steps which you perform? Can anyone speak up?
So
Yeah.
first we test it against test cases,
Mm-hmm.
sample test cases, and then after we are sure that it is correct,
Yeah.
then we submit it.
So basically, in general, writing a code basically consists of three operations. First of all, we write the code, we test the code, and then we again update the code based on the debugging factor. So there are three kind of operations we generally perform while editing any code. Similarly, whenever someone actually pulls out a branch here, he can do commits. What do you mean by commit is basically he is actually iterating the code multiple times. So here at this particular moment, which is T11, he actually write the code. He actually pushes it back into his branch. Then he runs some test cases on the code, which is T12, and he pushes it back into his branch, which is S. Okay, again at T3, he updates the code, and then he again pushes those changes into his main branch, which is S. Again, not T13. Again at T14, he merges the final changes into his branch, which is S. And after testing it out, finally, he actually want to merge it back into main branch, which is M at point T2. At this point, he will actually raise a pull request. Okay, the pull request intimation will directly go to my friend Jadhav present here. And Jadhav actually approved this pull request, and now the master will actually consist the changes which are done by Saurabh. Similarly, in this case as well, the similar thing will happen. Let's suppose T3 pay Sai takes up the code. He actually first of all write the code, he pushes it back into his main branch, which is actually Sai. So by branch, I meant that we actually working in a local set. Remember this thing we discussed, working set. This is called my branch. What it does is basically this: if there is a main code here which is present, and I actually pulls out a branch of this main code, I am actually creating a local copy of that particular code in my computer. Now I want to do I can do anything whatever I want. Changes here will not affect anything at the master branch, and nobody will get to know whether you are changing anything in your local branch except you. You do some changes, you remove some code, whatever you want to do, you do. This guy will only get to know about your changes when you raise a pull request. Until and unless you are requesting a pull request here, you can do anything with this code. You can actually work around, you can upload anything, you can do anything with this code, with this branch. This guy, the admin, will only come to know until and unless you request, you actually raise a pull request. Okay. So this thing here as well, we discussed like at T1 2, T1 1, T1 3, T1 4, we actually doing changes in the local branch only. This is a local branch whose name is S. In local branch, I'm pushing, and at this point of time, when I'm pretty sure that my local changes are almost done, then I raise a pull request to merge my local branch with the main branch. This pull request say, hey, can I merge M into M plus S? Yes, this is the question what this guy is asking with Jadhav. Can I do M is equal to M plus S? Jadhav approves this request, then M is actually become M plus S, and the process will keep on flowing for any other person as well. Now, is this thing clear to everyone? Is this thing clear to everyone? I need to listen X from each of you, please. Although there are less people in the class, but yeah, whoever is attending, they should be able to understand it clearly. Is this clear to everyone, guys? Is there any single person who is having any single doubt in whatever we've discussed in now? If you have any single doubt, you can speak up, please. Any single doubt in any of the actions that you have performed till now? Okay, no doubt.
So,
Yeah.
sir, does the master branch, like, can we terminate it somewhere, or it keeps on increasing as people
So the
contribute?
master branch is basically it's just a name. It's just a name which we name. So it is also called a default branch.
Ah, okay, sir.
Okay. So it's just a name which we actually by default when you create a repository over GitHub, it by default it creates a branch which is named as master. So let me show you a small example. Let me just go to the code now. Show you a little example here. So I believe that most of you have opened whatever I shared with you guys. So if you see here, uh, can you see my screen which is having this thing? DSP batches on a GitHub page. Is it visible to everyone? DSP batches GitHub page. Guys, is it visible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
DSP batches GitHub page is visible, right? If you see here, I just created a repository known as DSP batches here. Why I created this repository? Because I actually want you guys to make changes in this repository. Okay. So if you see the branch name, it is by default created by me, master. This is not named by me. This is named by GitHub. Okay. So the master branch is itself getting created automatically whenever I want to create a repository. Along with the repository, there is something called readme.md file, markdown file, which we actually create. So this actually consists of the data through which we can actually show people what are the different elements which are present in my repository. I will show you one more example just to make it clear. Let's search for any open source repository. Okay, let's take up any open source repository. Okay, let's go to Linux open source repository. Okay, now if you see this code, this is the main code of Linux, the operating system Linux. No, it is not. It is actually a edit of of one of the person who has already done it. So if you see here, there are around 915728 commits which are already done in this code. Can you just, are you able to see these are a number of changes which are done in this branch, master branch. Although there are not many branches which are present here because probably the admin is deleting the branches as and when they are merging it. And if you see, there are 647 versions of it. Basically, 647 times the master branch has been updated by people. There are around 325 pull requests which are already raised and which are in review. Let me open a pull request for you. If you see this pull request, this is how pull request is seen. Let me just show you. New site. If you see this pull request, what it shows is that there is a file change. This is the file name which is getting changed, and someone has actually added this single line in this file. And now, even for this single line, he has to raise a pull request. And the pull request is getting approved by this guy Torvalds. He is the admin here in this of this repository. And if you see, he has actually written all the explanation. This is the explanation which he has given for actually adding just a single line of code here. That's because it's Linux. Any single change here can actually, devastate the entire operating systems all around the world. So that's why he has given this much clarification. So if you see here, let me just go back to whatever I discussed with you guys. Mm, sorry. If you see here, while I was discussing this thing with you guys, like he raises a pull request. So by pull request, I mean he actually asking whether I can merge my changes into a master branch or not. And along with the master branch changes, he actually giving a proper explanation of the changes which he has done. There's an explanation required. And this guy Jadhav is very important here because he is the one who is merging this pull request. Is it understood to everyone now? Okay. So yeah, is everyone set with GitHub now? Has everyone set up GitHub in their laptops? Is there anyone who has not set up GitHub in their laptop till now? Guys, has everyone set up GitHub in their laptop? Ovia, yeah, everyone has set up. I need one of you guys to actually share your screen so that I can show you to because I'm running on a Mac OS, and I believe most of you will be having Windows as of now. So Mac OS is little different in terms of running these commands. So that's why I need one of you guys to run whatever I'm sending it to you. So Ovia, can you do one thing? Who want to volunteer first of all? Who want to volunteer for this activity? Rest everyone has to actually do the same. Anyone who want to volunteer for this activity? Like I will make him the admin and then he has to run the commands and follow the instruction whatever I'm going to tell. Pranav, are you fine with it? Would you like to proceed or Poobe, or you want to do it? Yes, come on, it's just a simple thing here. You just need to open your terminal and nothing else. Okay. So let me just ask Poobe as one of the co-hosts here so that yeah. Poobe, I make you the co-host here. Now, just follow my instructions. Can you open the GitHub? Can you create a folder on your desktop first of all? Are you running on Windows, right?
Yes, I'm running on Windows.
Yeah. Can you create a folder on your desktop and normal folder? Just name it DSP1 batch and put something in that. Don't put anything. Just leave it. Create a separate folder in the desktop and open the terminal.
So when I installed GitHub, it created a separate terminal. Should I use that or the normal terminal?
Yeah, you can use the same. Yeah, Git bash. Yeah. Now, can you also share your screen with us? Pooja, I'll just stop my screen sharing here. I will keep on guiding you with whatever actions that need to be performed.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so just share your screen, open the Git bash and share the Git bash screen. Don't share your whole screen. You just need to share one application screen. Yeah, great. So now, Puvia, can you go into the folder which you just created? Just
Yes, sir. Or like on the
on the
in the
terminal.
command window. Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Everyone is habitual with little bit of Linux. I was thinking of taking one session over Linux as well for you guys.
I
But yeah,
name the
fine.
folder DSP1 batch.
Yeah, go into it.
Yes.
Now, can you do Git init here? Cool. Now, Puvia, can you go back to the repository which I shared with you guys?
I'll sort of get the link, sir.
Let me paste it. Give me a second.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah, and share the browser screen with everyone.
Yes.
Guys, you need to perform similar actions. You don't need to sit and watch. Open your laptop and perform all the similar actions which Puvia is performing as of now.
How do I share the? Okay, wait. I can share this.
Just
yeah,
open
got
a
it.
separate screen and share it here.
Yes,
Don't
got
share
it.
the entire browser. You can share one tab itself. Yeah.
Is the browser visible now?
Yes, it is visible.
Okay. I need the link. I'm not able to access the messages, sir.
No, I have pinged you. I have pinged in the chat. Open the chat. I pasted it there.
Okay, one sec. That's what I'm not able to open the chat from here.
I think you can if you go
Okay,
down.
I got it. I'm sorry, I got it, sir. Yes, is it visible now?
Yes. So now if you go here, Puvia, can you open the clone or download wala button? There is one button, green button, clone or download.
This one.
Yeah.
Download
So
zip.
now, guys, there are two ways in which you can actually clone the repository. Remember, I was saying that you can actually clone the repository. So there are two ways to do it. One is through SSH and then through download itself. So wait, clone with HTTPS. Yeah, click on the copy code button. There is one button. Yeah, click on this. Click on
Yes,
this.
sir.
Now run the same command in your terminal. Go to your terminal and run the same command.
This one?
Yeah. Give me a second. I think I am not giving you this permission. Yeah, can you run the command? I think, wait.
Is my Git command screen visible or should I share that?
Open your terminal, copy this command and open your terminal.
Yes. Is my terminal visible?
No, it is not visible as
It's
of now.
visible
Yeah,
now?
now it is visible. Yes.
Okay. Is this the
Now,
command?
don't. Control C. Do Control C here. Yeah, you can also back.
Yeah.
Type git clone
Git
space clone
clone.
space and then paste the repository link. Yeah, hit it. So now, guys, if you see, he is actually cloning my repository. What he has done here, he has actually pulled out the entire code which is present in my repository into his local computer. Okay. Now, Puvia, can you do git branch here? Yeah. So if you, but it should have shown the master branch. Can you do git status?
It says on master branch.
It is on master branch. Okay, cool. So right now, if you see, guys, Puvia is right now on the master branch. So now, as I told you, we have to create. We have actually need to create a new branch after the master branch. So there is a command for it. Puvia type git space checkout space -b. -b is basically used to create a new branch out of the current branch and space and name your branch. You can name it Puvia. Yeah, hit it. So now do git branch. Somehow I don't know why the git branch is not showing in you. Just give me a second. I think the command is different in Windows. Puvia, can you run git show hyphen branch? Can you do git status?
It
Okay,
says
so
on branch Puvaya.
okay, so I'm not sure whether it should have shown the two branches. I want to show you the branches actually, but yeah, that's fine. So guys, when you do git branch, it will actually show you two branches. Earlier it was showing only one branch, which is master. Now it will show two branches. In Puvia's local computer, there are two branches, which is master and Puvia. Now Puvia, can you add something here in this script? Do you have your resume with you, Puvia?
Yes, sir.
Can you copy paste your resume in the folder which I asked you to create, in which we are
On the desktop.
yes.
Yes, one sec.
Guys, everyone is following up, right? Is there any problem which anyone is facing till now? Everyone is following the same steps, right? You need to follow the exact same steps.
So on the desktop, inside that folder, there's another folder called DSP batches with the README.
Yeah, inside DSP batches. Inside DSP batches, copy
Yeah,
the code. Copy.
I'll copy my resume.
Yeah. Okay, now do git status after copying it here. Okay, go inside DSP batches, cd DSP batches. You can just type tab, it will automatically put. Now do git status. Okay, so guys, if you can see here, it will show that untracked files are present. This means that Puvia has added a file which is not getting tracked by GitHub because he just added it. He now need to add that file to the tracked version. Okay, so Puvia, type in git add
So could you repeat that? My internet connection is
so
unstable.
type in git add
Git add
dot.
Yeah.
It will actually add up all the untracked file into your current commit. So if you do, can you do git status now? Yeah, now it will show that the file has been committed. Okay, now Puvia has it has been added into the Puvia's branch. Now Puvia has to create a commit. Okay, so Puvia, can you type git commit -m?
Git
commit -m space double quotes and write some message like write Puvia's first commit. Okay, no, double quotes. Yeah, just yeah, hit enter. Okay, you have not set your. Have you set up your global username and password, Puvia?
I don't think I have, sir.
Okay, you need to add up your. Let me just give you the command. So Puvia, I'm just pinging you two commands. You need to type both of them. And everyone needs to type. So can you copy paste the first command in your terminal here?
Yes.
Don't know. Oh shit. You need. Okay.
I didn't mean to press enter. Wait. I just copied it.
I'll type. I'll spell it for you. Right. Git config -- global. Yeah, it is already. Write your username, whatever you want to give. puvia.v, or in general the standard nomenclature is name dot the first letter of the surname. So yeah, space, double quotes, write down your full name with space separated. Yeah, now hit it. Okay, now write the second command, user.email git config hyphen global user.email. I think we
Should I give my email address or
yes, user.email.
should I use it or email?
I think it has to be passed as the parameter. Okay, so I think we did a mistake, Puvia. Can you write the above command again? Write user.name. Yeah. Config global. Yeah. Type in the upper key. It will show the previous command which you already pushed.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
showing
yeah,
up.
yeah. Instead of puvia.e, write user.name.
So could you
User.name.
explain why this is user name?
This is the standard template actually. So I thought that maybe they're taking name from user.name, but yeah, it's fine.
Okay,
Now
done
hit it.
this.
Yeah, hit it. Now again for the password, git config global. Uh, yeah, no, the other one. Go back. Come back. You can
I'll type it again.
write user.email dot email
User.email.
space. Now in the double quotes, give your email address. Okay, hit it. Okay, now try to commit it. Now run the command which you already copy pasted earlier. Git commit -m1 command.
-m.
Space, double quotes, give some message along with the commit. My first commit, you can do anything here. Okay. So guys, if you see now Puvia has committed his changes. Okay. This is what I was talking about. If you go back here, Puvia, I'm just overriding you. Okay.
Yes,
You
sir.
have to,
So this global username thing, I don't have to run it again. This is a one-time
yeah, it's
configuration.
a one-time configuration which you need. Do one thing, type in git push as well here. Then I will explain. Git push. Yeah. Give it a minute. Probably the internet speed is slow.
To log in.
No. It is actually pushing your changes now to the repository. It
It
is
asks me
collecting.
to log in first, sir. Like a
It is.
login window is opened.
Okay, log in using the credential which you have given in the while installing the GitHub. Have you created a GitHub account? Do you have a GitHub account?
Yes, sir. I don't know the password right now. Give me one.
You need to give the username and password which are there in the GitHub account.
Yes. Give me 1 second, sir. I'll quickly do this.
Meanwhile, while Puvia is setting up his username and password on GitHub, are you guys able to cope up? Like, have you done till now? Similar steps needs to be done. Have you done the steps till now? Whatever he has done, Puvia?
So I'm actually a bit stuck at the commit section. Like another terminal has opened and it is showing to enter some commit message for any
Commit
changes. So
message.
after
It will show. It will show. Commit message. May write down just your name. Then write my first commit. It's just a message which it will show to the admin before he approves your pull request.
so how to get out of that?
Write colon WQ
Okay.
colon WQ. Okay. Is
Okay.
everyone else able to do it? Current Git branch is not showing me. It's showing me. It's showing not a Git repository. You need to pull the repository current. Type in Git clone, then the repository link which he did.
Yes, sir. I got a 403 error.
So
It's access denied.
have I made it private? Just a minute. Should not actually. Just give me a second. It should be public, yeah, that's why it is visible. Should not show this thing. Can you type in git push origin
Git
master? Git
push.
push origin master. Oh,
Again, sir.
but able to access. Problem is the permission issues here, right? Git denied to Povia. Povia, type in git remote set hyphen URL origin space and then copy paste this thing https github.com/dmuxacademy/tsp-batches.git.
Yes, one sec.
Yep. And now can you do git push? Should work here. I think there is some authentication error at your site.
Same problem. So maybe if someone else could switch over and try this. Is it a problem on my end?
Yeah, I'm just checking it. Can someone else also try to push your changes?
Could you check it once? Actually, I've posted.
Is anyone able to do it?
So actually, I pushed it. Could you check it once?
Okay, you pushed it. Yeah, I'm just checking whether you pushed it or not. You need to raise a pull request. Can you go to the URL? There should be some changes which is opening there.
One second. Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, the problem with network issues, so it's showing fail right now.
It is
Just give me a
showing
second.
fail right now. Here network issues here repository were made it public actually, that's why. You guys are using HTTPS, right? There are two ways to actually push it. First is through HTTPS, second is through SSH. But SSH is little complicated. Although if it don't work, we have to use SSH only. Did you give your proper correct username password? Uvia, can you try giving your username password again?
How do I log in again, sir? Is any command for this?
Ignite. I got it. Do one thing. Actually, your username was not correct. Remember, in the username you get Puvia a.p. So you need to
Yes.
give the username which you use for GitHub.
Okay.
So just type in that command again: git config hyphen global hyphen.
1 sec, sir.
Yeah. And give the username which you use to log into GitHub.
I think it's just Pubaya. Yes. Git config hyphen
Global
global
space user.name
user.name.
space double quotes. Then give the exact username which you give in on GitHub.
Okay, this should be it.
Now try git push. It will ask for a password if the username is correct. Here,
That's a problem.
can you check the username and password on GitHub? Can you go and
Yes,
log
sir.
in?
I'll log in. 1 sec.
Others, are you guys able to do it? Karan, you are also getting 403. Can you check the username which you're given on GitHub? If you create a GitHub account, you have to use a username and a password. So keep those username and password handy as well as the email address.
Sir, how do I commit?
Git commit minus m. Git commit minus m space double quotes, and in that double quotes gives the message what you want to show to the admin. Yes.
Yes, I think I have used the correct name. It's just Pubaya. I've used the correct name this time for this command.
Email ID is also correct.
Yes, yes.
Okay, then there is something else.
Can
you do one thing? Can you do vi?
A new command, sir.
Vi
Vi
dot git slash config. Yeah. Okay, vi erase my text editor comes out there.
So if is anyone else able to push it successfully?
Yeah, guys, is anyone able to push it? I don't see any pull request till now.
Seems like everyone's getting the 403 errors, sir.
Yeah, I think there is some error at my side in that case. Probably there's some error with the repository. Cool. Let's take a 10-minute break in that case, guys. Let me figure it out. Meanwhile, you guys complete it till here. Like commit the changes till here. Set your username, set your email address, create a branch, and just complete it till here. And only git push is remaining. For that, I will try to solve. Only one command is remaining. Git push will actually create your upload your changes over repository. So that I'll figure out. Give me 10-15 minutes. Okay.
Sorry about the confusion, sir.
So the git remote add, what's the name?
Sorry?
Is it when you enter git remote before entering the URL, the name is DSP batches? Or
Git remote? No, you have to do git clone and the repository link.
Before pushing?
Before pushing. Okay. Puya, can you do one thing? Can you copy paste all the commands which you have used in your laptop in the chat here?
Yes, I'll do that.
And probably do it on the WhatsApp group as well. Okay.
Yes, I'll put it on the chat first.
Just leave git push. I'll try to solve for git push. Okay. Cool, guys. Let's have a break for 10-15 minutes. Meanwhile, I'll try to fix this issue. I think there is some repository.
Sir, I just have a small issue. When I write the git commit command, then it is showing that on branch master, your branch is ahead of origin master by one commit. So what does this mean?
Does type in git pull origin.
Git pull origin.
Yeah, git pull master, git pull origin master कर देना, git pull origin master. Okay, cool guys. Let's meet in 10-15 minutes till then. One of you can remain here so that I can test it out as well with you. Yeah, give me 5-10 minutes, and one of you join early, 5 minutes early, and then we will figure it out. What is the issue? Cool. Yeah, I'm stopping the recording for 10 minutes now, and let's sync up after 10 minutes. Okay, cool.
Dash.
Stash. Git stash.
So could you type it?
No, nothing. Typing git space stash.
STASH.
Yes. Okay, now do git checkout minus b. Checkout minus b space Shravan. Okay, now do git stash apply. Git stash hyphen apply. apply run कर देगा, apply चल जाएगा.
No stash.
Git stash hyphen apply करना एक बार. नहीं एक मिनट. Do git status है. Wait. ठीक है. Do some changes here. Sean, do some changes. Add that resume again. Add resume again in the folder. Meanwhile, others, please give me your mail ID. Looks like not everyone has a permission to push it actually on the repository. I need to add you one by one. Just paste in your mail ID here. I will send request to all of you so that you guys can also push. Whoever is trying to push, just type in your mail IDs here, everyone. Yadu Krishna, okay.
Unable to access.
अरे डीएस तो नहीं, रिज्यूमे कॉपी कर सकते हो आप. डीएसपी बैचेस फोल्डर के अंदर अपना रिज्यूमे जाके कॉपी कर दो या कुछ भी फाइल एक क्रिएट कर दो उधर.
What to do next? I mean, I added a new file.
Show me do git status.
So
show me do git status. Git status. Shravan, type in git status. Yadu, I've sent you the invitation. Just accept the invitation and then try to push. Don't push it from the master branch, guys. You need to create a separate branch altogether. Just follow the step which he has sent to our WhatsApp group.
actually showing this.
What it is showing?
New file has been done.
Cool. Do git commit now. Git commit -m. Type in git commit -m space quote double quotes like Shravan's first commit.
So when we are writing the git config command, then in the user, after the username, we have to give our GitHub username.
Yes, GitHub username should be there. Yes. Do git push now, Shravan. Type this command git push जो भी ये दे रहा है git push minus minus set upstream वाला कॉपी कर ले यार ठीक है तुम्हारा पुश हो गया है now go to GitHub raise a pull request
Yes, sir.
okay एक तो पुश हुआ बाकी सबको कराना है एक मिनट
So, should I stop the sharing?
now do one thing no yeah go to GitHub raise a pull request you can understand it yourself raise a pull request against master meanwhile I'm just adding all of you guys one by one keep checking your email just give me a second let me give access to all then you guys can check your email address it should directly work I'm not sure why it is directly not working Yadhu, Sai, Saurabh, can you check your mail address? Email. I've sent you the request. You need to accept the request and then push. Same process, no different. Ashirwad Mukhar, you can also check now. I hope you guys have given the same email address which you guys have registered with GitHub. Let me know even after accepting the request if you're not able to push it.
Sir, I accepted the invitation. Now it says the current branch has no upstream branch, so I'm not able to push.
Says the current branch. Just give me a second. Let me accept the
Sure.
request for all, and then I'll look into one by one each of you. It's simple. I mean, once you understand it, it's very simple. All these commands, they are very simple. Just that the first time problem will always happen here in GitHub. Jadav, I am not approving for you because I'm just keeping you for the changes which I will do later on, and then we will test out with you. Okay. So I'm not approving for you. Other than Jadav, I have approved for everyone. Can you guys go to your email address, accept the invitation, and then let me know if you're facing some issue with the git push. Yeah, who was facing the issue? Yadu, you were facing the issue, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just give me a second. Let me create you the co-host. Yeah, can you share your screen now, Yadu? I have created you as the co-host.
So I'm stopping my share.
Yeah, you can stop. Yes, you're done. You go and raise the pull request now.
Sir, is it visible?
Yes, it is visible now. Just show me. Git push you minus origin. No, do git push.
Git push.
Just type, yeah, hit it. Okay, just type this command git push जो ये लिख के आ रहा है. Git push minus minus set upstream. एक copy paste. Yeah. Hyphen upstream. Yeah.
Origin. Git push.
Yo, changes have been pushed. Cool. Go to GitHub and raise the pull request. Anyone else who is facing any issue? in pushing the changes? Who was the one who was actually who's on whose screen I was checking?
So shall I stop sharing?
Yes, yes. Can you guys ping on the group like it is working now and everyone can join back and push the changes? So I have got full pull request till now. Yadhu, Shravan, Ashirvad. Two of them have raised a pull request. So now let me just share my screen and show you guys how I'm going to basically accept the pull request, and then just give me a second. Cool. So can everyone see my screen now? The DSP wedges wala screen. Guys, can everyone see
Yes,
my
sir.
screen? It is visible, right? So as you
Yes,
can
sir.
see here, those who have actually pushed the changes, they have actually raised a pull request. Okay. This is the pull request which they have raised. For instance, Shravan has raised the pull request as this. If I open Shravan's pull request here, it will show me this. So this is Shravan's first commit. This is Shravan's first commit. He should have named it differently, but that's fine. Now, if you see here, files change mein, he has added three files: fontcolor.png, myresume.pdf. PDF. Okay. Now I will review these changes. I will write lgtm here. Shravan, you should have created a folder, man. Stop this pull request.
I'll do it now.
Raise
If it,
another pull request. Basically, you know what to do, right? Pull the branch again, create another branch out of master, and then create a folder. Don't just update in the main folder. So Yadu, you need to raise a pull request. Go to your console and basically this UI, and then you will see a option to raise a pull request. Let me open Mukher's pull request here. So Mukher has actually added my resume.docs. Basically, Mukhar, you also need to create it under a folder. Create a folder under the DSP batches folder, and in that folder, upload a resume or whatever you want to upload, and then raise it.
So the request which you have sent, when I was clicking on it, it showed that this is not the web page that you were looking for. So is that
On the
something?
email you're saying?
Yes, sir. The
What is
invitation
what
link
it's
that you
showing?
sent.
What
This
it
is not error 404. This is not the web page that you were looking for.
Reload it again. Yeah, it's working for everyone. Reload it. Try reloading it again. So see, Shravan has actually closed the pull request. This is how it works. If you see the branches here, guys, one more thing I want to show you. So if you see the branches here, there are 6 branches now which are present in this repository. Each of the guy have created a branch, and this is my master branch which is still protected. So if you see, there's an option to change the default branch as well. I can change the default branch to anyone. So just raise the pull request, guys. I think that's it. The activities, this thing only. I actually want to give you a hands-on experience on GitHub, like how you can do the changes by yourself. So as I told you, there are few steps which you need to do. First of all, git clone the repository. I'll just tell you the steps again. Git pull the repository. This link, git clone this particular link. Then it will actually pull the entire repository into your local computer. Then do git branch. It will show the master branch. Then do git checkout -b and then your branch name. It will actually create a separate branch from the master branch. Then after that, create a folder inside DSP batches. Inside this, create a folder with your name, and inside that folder, just set up some file like your resume or something else. And after that, do git add dot. It will actually add up the entire folder. Then do git commit -m, and then give your commit message, and then in the last do git push. During the git push, if you are pushing it for the first time, you need to set the upstream. So it will give you an error. Actually, just copy paste that error. Basically, it will give you an error and give you the right command which you need to use instead of git push. So just copy paste that command and hit it again. You will be able to create a request here.
so should I create the new folder inside this cloned branch?
Who created a folder?
Should I create a new folder?
Yes, create a new folder inside DSP batches. You will see the folder when you pull the branch. Inside this DSP batches, create a new folder with your name, and then create the file inside that folder, and then push your changes. So can anyone do it right now? I want to show you guys committing one branch, and then we can do it for the rest. Let me know when one of you is done with this activity. Like I will merge the changes for one of you, and then we can keep merging for others as well.
So what is the command for creating a new, renaming the branch from master to
Renaming
others?
the branch. Basically, you need to create a new branch. Git checkout -b space branch name. I'll just send out all the commands. Don't worry. Mukher, you have raised a new request. Let's just see. Okay, so if you see, Mukher has actually raised a new pull request test files slash resume.docs. You should name it by your full name first of all, but that's fine. I will just Mukher, you need to remove this file as well from the last commit. So basically, when you before you commit, you can delete this file from your folder, and it will actually delete it from your commit. Can you do one change, Mukher? Just remove these two things and create a folder. Inside that folder, write myresume.docx and then raise the request.
Sir, can you please send the invitation link once again? It's showing the same error again.
Okay, who is this?
Saurav Naik at the
Saurabh.
resume.com.
Okay, sure. Let me just send it. Jadhav, you won't be able to do it today. I'm really sorry, man. Because your email ID we will use for some test cases purposes. Okay. I'll sync up with you later on, and then we will see that why I'm getting this error, because it should be made public only.
So once I create a new folder and add my file inside that, do I need to create a new branch, or can I?
You can actually push it from the same branch. You don't need to. It is showing that user has already invited. Check it again. You must have got the invite. Yeah. So what I was saying that basically, just go to your terminal again, delete whatever files you added, and then use the same branch and add the new create a folder, add the file, do git commit, do git push. That's it.
Okay, sir.
Add, commit, push, the three simple commands. Guys, I can see only 6 pull requests. What about others? Are you guys not doing this? Are you facing any issue? I need 10, 12 pull requests here. Please, everyone raise the pull request.
Sir, you didn't send the invitation link.
I sent you just a minute. Saurabh, right? I
Yes.
sent you actually. It was showing that you already invited. Let me, I have to delete you from the already existing users. Saurabh 36, right?
Yes, sir.
What is this git stash command? Could you please repeat it once?
Sorry?
Git stash, you said something.
Don't use git stash. Use normal add, commit, push. That was for some other purpose. We'll come on to it when we discuss.
So
Yeah, tell me.
when I'm pushing it again after creating a folder, I'm getting
Mhm.
rejected. Failed to push some references to and the link of the GitHub repository we are pushing right now.
This is Yadu or Shravan?
Shravan.
Just a minute. Whose
I will paste the error message.
access I just deleted? Shravan Bachuk, it is there, man. Can you show me your screen? Let me add you here. Yadu, were you able to push it? Guys,
Yeah.
everyone should be able to push these changes. Let me know if you're not able to push or you're facing any challenge in pushing
So
it.
I was able to push it, but I've used the same branch. So it's happened. Nothing. There's no error. I mean, I think it's done.
It's done, yeah? Just give me a second. Can you raise the pull request? Okay. So your files has been test.pdf, but yeah, see this file is already present here, right? Okay, anyways, let me just commit it for now. So guys, I'm if you see here, I'm actually trying to give LGDM to Yadu's commit. If I just approve it here, submit review. Now Yadu will actually can merge the pull request. Yadu, can you go and merge the pull request? Go to your go here in the pull request section. Go to your pull request and merge the pull request.
Okay, so
Now what it will do, guys, so remember we were doing like after the commits get approved, Jada was approving the commit and then it was going into the master branch. So exactly same thing is happening now. Yadu has created a branch, he has done some changes in his branch, and now I've given LGDM. So I'm the owner here, and if you see, Yadu has now merged the commit into the master branch. So if I reload the project again, you see that Yadu's changes are already present here. So these are Yadu's changes which are getting published. This test change test.pdf was done by Yadu. Similarly, you guys can also raise the pull request, and then after that I can approve it, and then you can keep your changes here. But try not to keep these changes. I would suggest you keep something constructive here, like any HTML project or anything which you have done. Resume was just for the purpose of this activity, but in general, go back, read about it again, read about the process, and read about why it was why you were not able to earlier push the changes, and then create any project, good HTML project, and try to keep that project here. So it should be consisting of the project which are done by you, so that that particular repository you can own up, and then you can actually use it for in your resume as well. Like you have done some, you have actually pushed your project over GitHub, and you have actually committed your work over GitHub. Okay, so yeah, with this, I think we can end the session. If is there anyone who is facing some issues still in pushing the changes?
Yeah, could you please look? Could I share you the screen once, because
Yes,
I
just
need
give
to.
me a second. Give me a second. I'm just coming back, and then we will look into it. For those who are already able to push the changes, they can stay back and try to create a good repository. Try to create something constructive here and then push it.
So before merging, I mean, before accepting to merge, after you gave me this thing. Hello.
Yeah. Now show me the error which you're getting, Shravan.
So could you see my screen right now?
Yes. Yeah. Show me.
This is
Can you do git status? Go down to do git status. Nothing to commit. Enable to access. Yeah, ठीक है. There is nothing to commit, man. What are you committing?
actually I've created a folder and I've added a file to it.
Can you do PWD?
PWD.
Yeah, run pwd. Okay, do ls. Okay, go to cd Shravan. Yeah, but already committed the changes, man. Just give me a second. Let me check the Shravan is closed. The branch name is Shravan, right?
Yes, sir.
एक minute. Still show me the earlier. Go down, go down. Do git branch. Do git branch. Git branch. Shravan, okay. What have you done? Did you run git stash command somewhere?
Git.
No, no. I am asking. Which command did you run? Can you do git status पे कुछ आ तो नहीं रहा but should-
So actually, I've created a folder. After that, I've created new branch Ravan, and then I have added my files to the
No, no, it will not work this way. So do one thing. Do git checkout master.
checkout with high. I mean,
Master, normal master. No, no, no hyphen. Git check on master. Yes. Okay. Do this. Hit it. Okay. Do git branch. Do ls. Okay. Great. Now create the folder and keep the file. Wait. Do git branch. Git branch. Current repository. No such file. Do pwd. Get do cd dot dot. Do pwd. Do git branch. Do git status. No, sorry. Do ls. Cool. Do git branch minus small d Shravan. This will actually delete your previous branch. Yeah. Do capital D. Okay. Hard delete. Minus capital D Shravan. Sure. Do git branch now. Do checkout minus B. Git checkout minus B. Space. Give some दूसरा Shravan 1 Shravan 2 give like this. Yeah. B, not D, not B. Minus B.
B.
Minus B, yes. B for ball. Guys, everyone else is able to do it. Are you facing any issues? Yeah, do git branch. Now add the folder inside your current repository and then let me know. Add the folder as well as the resume inside that folder. Guys, anyone else is facing issue while doing git push or any other problem as such?
Sir, I have a question.
Yes.
So when you gave me the option to accept the merge, right?
Mm-hmm.
I still had my first commit, like the stuff still was left over there. How was it? How am I supposed to remove that and just have my new test file inside? Like, is it because I use the same branch?
Yes, so actually you were using the same branch and the previous commit was getting overridden. It's getting accumulating. It's a cumulative effect, right? How many commits you do actually, previous commit changes remain on the branch. So I merged your branch, not your commit, right? So you have done two
Oh.
commits and I've actually merged both the commits. So do one thing, Yadu, pull out the master again, delete the files which you created, and then create another folder with your name Yadu. Inside that, put your resume and then again raise the pull request.
Okay, sir.
Sir, I have just pushed. Sir, I have just successfully pushed it. So what I have to do after that?
Yeah, pushed it. Okay? Just give me a second. Let me check.
So actually, I've added the folder.
Oh, just give me a second.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No issues.
Yeah. Okay.
So it should be in the name of Saurabh.
Pull request. I don't see any pull request. Did you raise the pull request?
I just said
Raise the pull request. Raise the pull request. Go to UI and then raise the pull request. You need to raise the pull request. Give proper message in the pull request and then raise it. Yeah, Sean. So is it done? Have you
Yes,
created
sir.
do git status? Cool. Do git add dot do git एक मिनट ठीक है वार्निंग है कोई बात नहीं do git commit -m space give you a message like something like show once commit or something else do git push will throw an error yes copy paste the command and then do it
So why we are doing this? I mean, what's the
because
difference between doing this?
basically see the first time when you push it you need to actually set up a upstream branch. If you see
Okay.
here, it is actually setting the upstream branch as origin. By default, origin is the default branch, which is master in our case. So it will
Okay.
actually raise the pull request against master. So for the first time, you need to do it. Up now, let me just share my screen and show you.
Yes.
Can you guys see my screen? So if you
Yes. Yes.
see, Saurabh has actually pushed his changes. You
I
need
need
to
to.
raise a pull request. Sorry.
Yeah.
So you need to raise a pull request. Anyways, I won't create a pull request for you. Otherwise, I won't be able to merge it. Can you raise a pull request here?
Actually,
Go here, and you will see the changes here, and then raise a pull request against master.
where can I see my pull request? I mean, we need.
Do new pull request. If you type in here, compare my give your branch like Saurav wala branch. Yeah, Yadu, were you able to complete the changes?
No, sir, I'm still doing. So how do I change my branch back to the?
You can use the same branch. You don't need to create a
Sir,
new.
can you please? So I just created pull request. Can you please check it once?
Yeah, wait. Let me create you. Yadu, you can create the same branch. You don't need to create
So then
separate.
what
I've
do I have to
actually,
do in the same branch? Can you just repeat?
I've also created my pull request.
Okay, एक minute. Just let me close out one guy. So he has raised a pull request. Shravan's commit. If I see the files which have been changed, DS store Shravan my resume. Great, cool. So LGTM approve the pull request. Now you can go here. Shravan, you can go to your pull request and do merge pull request. You will
Yes.
be your changes will get merged. Yeah. Now Yadu, yeah, you were saying something.
Yeah, sir. So what exactly am I supposed to do now? I didn't follow.
You
I
see,
thought you asked me to go back to the master branch
yeah.
and
So
then do the
you are on
same
the
thing.
same. Yes, yes. So you are on the same branch. On the
Yeah.
same branch, basically. First of all, delete all this stuff. Assign underscore RT and the test wala thing which you
Yeah,
added.
yeah.
Okay. Then create another folder with your name Yadu. Inside that folder, copy paste the resume and then git add, git commit, git push.
All right, all right. Okay, sir. I'll do
Okay.
it now.
Yeah. So yeah,
So
go sharing the screen now. Saurabh, yeah, you can share your screen now. Karan, I'll get
I've,
back to you. Give me 2 minutes, okay? I'll.
I've complete. I
Yeah,
mean, I've accepted.
yes. Shravan, why don't you help out Karan meanwhile? I'm checking out with Saurabh. Okay?
Yes. Yes.
I just sent a pull request to you. So can you just check that?
Who has raised a pull request?
So the
Saurabh's first commit. Okay,
I sent a resume.
cool, great. I'll approve this one. So Saurabh and Shravan both are done. You can merge the pull request, Saurabh. Go back here and merge the pull request.
Yes.
Karan, I'm creating you the co-host. You can share your screen now. So Shred, are you also facing some issue? Karan, share your screen now. Yeah. Do git status. Where have you created the file? Do ls. You have done it on. You actually pulled it after I merged Yadu's changes. Okay, Yadu. First of all, you need to push your changes. Only then we can do for current. Can you acknowledge once you push your changes?
Sir,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat what you said?
I'm saying that after you push your changes, then we can do current changes. You as a dependent, because he has actually by mistake pulled
Okay,
your
okay.
changes.
So I'll do it right now.
Karan, just stay there for 2 minutes, okay?